Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of On the Mic with Mike. I am your host, Mike Larkin, and joining me today is a beautiful, beautiful human being. You could even say she's desirable, Miss Des Desire. Des, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. How are you?
I'm excellent, Michael. Thank you for having me.
You are very welcome. First and foremost, one of the integral parts about the Session Wrestling community is we got a lot of great people like yourself in it. We got Jennifer Thomas and the Sessions event live streaming this Saturday, September 5th. I'm excited. I'm excited to see all you ladies do your thing. It's always a fun event when it comes to Jen's events.
It is, and that's why when I met Jen, I did not know, but I had a feeling that I would be taking a whirlwind of exciting endeavors, which is true.
Well, I think what's great about Miss Jennifer Thomas, and she knows I love her as well, it's one of those things where we've talked about her neck fetishes, we've talked about just in general. Each and every time she goes out there with the events and her overall performances, you know you're going to be in for a treat, you know you're going to have some fun, and you know you might just be a little bit sore after each and every bout that she does. So, I mean, hey, that really encompasses the one and only Miss Jennifer Thomas.
Definitely. Absolutely. And another thing that makes her special that I love and respect a lot is that she's always looking out for the girls and wanting all of the girls that are involved in whatever it might be that she's doing, including session girls and whatever it is, to benefit. Like she has maybe even to a fault because it gets her too emotionally attached. She just really cares about the other people wanting to make sure that they're safe and that they're making the money. She's just a good person. And sometimes she puts other people too much in front of her. That's how nice she is. Like, she just puts them before her when, she would give her shoes off her feet. Exactly. Her heels, of course, if they fit, but her feet are tiny, so they probably wouldn't fit that many people.
I was about to say, yeah, wait a minute here. When you were talking about shoes, I'm like, I was actually going to make the reference with heels, but you beat me to it on that, yes.
He always is wearing heels.
Well, that's the thing. Well, first and foremost, that's the overall sex appeal about it, too. And this is where I also encompass you in this, because y'all look good. You got that fitness aspect, too. There's a lot of people don't realize, when you look at Jen, you've seen her stuff with bodybuilding and the whole nine, from professional wrestling, the whole nine. But it's one of those things where I look like people like yourself. Y'all got the great appearance. You got the great bodies. You look good doing what you're doing. And that really takes a lot into it. So I really admire also your training acumen and your overall regimen that really encompasses what you do as a sessions wrestler and encompasses your overall art form, Miss Des Desire.
Thank you. I mean, I guess it's just because of an athletic background. But I will tell you this, the training and fitness regimen is a lot different lately, especially with my condition and then, of course, this whole pandemic. But it's like I said, it's been making us step out of the box and look at things differently.
True, and I also look at it like this, because with everything that's going on with the pandemic, as you so eloquently put it, it's one of those things where, you got to try to stay positively proactive, A lot of stuff's going on with the world, with quarantine, with, for wearing masks, to protect your safety, the whole nine. It's one of those things where we have to be cautious as people, but we also got to try to not make ourselves go insane in the membrane, as one Cypress Hill once sang, you know what I'm saying? We have to try to stimulate our minds and do something that really makes us happy and makes our overall beings feel good. A little meditation here and there, little home workouts, just something that really keeps us going as people.
Absolutely. And I am sad to report that I don't think Cypress Hill affected as many people with that song. Or maybe they didn't. Some people are going pretty crazy, but it's not me.
Hey, man, I was back in the day when friggin' late 90s here. You're looking at 7 and 8-year-old Mike Larkin here. Yes, people, I was that hard with Cypress Hill, rap superstar, rock superstar, coming up in the world, don't trust nobody, gotta look over your shoulder constantly. Hello. But no.
If I saw you pull up next to me bumping that, I would chuckle. I would think it was so funny.
Yo.
And especially if you were rocking out to it.
First and foremost, I have a very eclectic style of music. One day I could be listening.
I believe it.
Okay, well, one day I could be listening to Cypress Hill, then the next minute, because I remember as a kid, my grandfather used to love this song, God rest his soul, put on a little Andrew Sisters, Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy, a Company B, and no, I'm not. See?
Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy, Company B.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
No,
I love it.
Yes, and I'm not talking about Christina Aguilera when she sampled it with Candyman. I'm talking about the OG from the 40s. I'm talking about...
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I'm talking about Abbott and Costello.
I forgot about Christina.
Yes.
She did do that.
She did. I mean, I'm not talking about Aurora from Hold That Ghost with Abbott and Costello, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's classic, timeless stuff right there on the music front. But yeah, hey, I was... But yeah, I was 15 when Candyman came out. I'm like, wait a minute, where have I heard this before? Because my grandfather used to have the records. Yes, people talk about the records back in the day with the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy Company. But yeah, good times, good times.
Yeah, you're such a well-versed young man, probably because your family was as well.
Well, thank you, Miss Desmond.
Grandpa had some style.
That he did. That he did. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of those things where I look at it like, first and foremost, like, when you talk about rap and stuff like your Cypress Hills and stuff, I mean, with the eclectic vibes, with everything that goes in R&B, there's everything has its meaning to it, and this is where I kind of put music and wrestling kind of like the same genre in the same category, from the travel aspect, from the schedule, from the overall grind. Like, there's a lot of things that encompass about that. And also, if you look at both from their respective, lyricism and for the overall work of art that they have with wrestling, from submissions, from the overall styles, dare I say joint manipulation, there's a lot of artworks that are very similar in both different aspects and genres, if you will.
Yeah, there really are. I mean, I wouldn't say they copied directly, although a lot of musicians did, but they maybe were just so inspired. Because my best friend made a song. She's in the middle of recording an album right now, but she just made a new song, and I told her on voicemail it ranged from a swingy sludge metal sound to some progressive rock to some old punk. Like, it didn't sound like that. It wasn't all over the place, but I just heard those in her music, and those were like her influences, and I could hear it in the simple song, the simple chords.
See, I can see that, and that does make sense, everything what you're saying. And for me, like, the closest I ever got to this was actually kind of a comedic standpoint. I remember as a kid, my God, I was like 11 years old. This is when Weird Al Yankovic had Poodle Hat's album out. Now, for those yes. So for those that don't remember, he did like a cover of Eminem's "Lose Yourself" off that one, talking about couch potato and getting off the couch.
Oh, funny.
Yes. So one of his things that he had always used to do during the shows was he had the angry white boy polka, and it was a lot of rock mixed with R&B, mixed with rap, what have you, but it was encompassed in the polka style. It's like Steve Urkel if he went buck wild, and it was funny though. You know what I'm saying, from the comedic aspect. But yeah, I can kind of see that, how it all kind of blends together. I think your friend has great style with her music.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And I think we also like it too because there is a sense of familiarity that, when something is familiar, we tend to gravitate towards it more.
Of course, and you gotta love familiarity, you know what I'm saying? Because I'll be honest with you, we're in a day and age where social media is the thing. Like, I remember as a kid where it started with MySpace, and now we have the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram, the whole nine. But that's the thing. Yes, and we're in the social media age. It's all about follows. It's all about the views. But we try to make it work in this thing called life,
It's true, and it's super beneficial. I just told a girl who's going to be participating in the event, I said, you didn't see that video I tagged you in on Instagram? She said, I am so terrible at social media. I said, look, if you're a professional dancer and you have all this talent and skill and you're going to be involved with this, I hated to admit it, but I had to succumb to it. It's the way you have to go and do things. It's the way you're going to get gigs and bookings and just get credibility. Like, if someone meets her in person and wants to see some of her work, they're going to ask for the social media. So she said she agreed and she understood. However, I was very taken aback when President Trump became our president and started tweeting. That was really surprising for me. And then now that's what every high-ranking anybody, celebrity, politician, guru is doing, is tweeting. So things have changed.
I'm also having that visual image of you just talking about, did you not see that Instagram post I told you? Just friggin' understand this. I'm just picturing you like a drill sergeant, like with the finger posted, like, did you not see the video I did Instagram? Like, that's the passion that you have from the social media game, which I can appreciate, because how you got to market yourself, the passion behind that.
Exactly. I think I was a little, just like you envisioned me, but with a lot softer voice. Did you not see that? But I reposted the video on the Des Desire Instagram just so she could see it again, and they barely only saw it earlier, a few hours ago.
That is true, but it's one of those things, and you actually brought something up. When Barack Obama first got into office, it even goes back to the Obama administration. Like, when you see Barack Obama, well, he didn't really tweet. I think he had somebody actually tweeting for him. But you look at public figures like that, and here's Trump coming out there just tweeting, and then you see all this ish, if you will, and it's just like, my God, look at the times we're in where everybody's just using social media. The president, every celebrity, every public figure. It's just wow.
Yeah, that was interesting. That that was new to me. So, but that really dictated where it's going and now where it is in only a few years.
It's like, well, yeah, it's like for me when I first saw Hulk Hogan tweeting, and you know what's funny about Hulk Hogan's tweets, and here's something that's very minuscule, but it's very noticeable when you see somebody in their overall verbiage and their overall, posts and such, right? Hulk Hogan, every time he would post on Twitter, he would have the little dash right there, and every time he post HH. Like, dude, we know who you are. Why do you got to initial it with HH? We know that you're the Hulkster brother running wild. We know that you're this wrestler, this whole nine. I mean, it's not like you're a Hall of Fame or anything, Hulkster, but it's like, geez, do we have to freaking end it with HH and everything? It's like, dude, we know who the hell you are. It's the friggin' Hulkster. It's the bandana, running wild, Hulkamania, prayers. Take your vitamins, say your prayers, all nine. But yeah, that was one of the things that I always laughed about, because it's one of those little nuances with everybody's posts, Just be me being observant.
Right. That is interesting.
Yes. Also, another thing I got to mention about you, since we are talking about Sessions Wrestling, what I always appreciate about you, and we're going to talk about the event in a second here, I always talked about, just your dominance and your overall demeanor, and this is what I love about you. I'm going to paint this image in your head. Pop culture nerd coming out here again, Miss Desire. Okay. When I was young, I'm talking about Good Burger here, and people, you know what I'm going about. Kenan and Kel, Good Burger, all that, the movie, right? So Nickelodeon comes out with Good Burger. There's a scene in that movie played by Carmen Electra. She makes a brief cameo in this. And yes, so you hear Roxanne in the background. It's a cover of the old Sting Police song. Roxanne, you don't have to put on a red light. The way that Carmen Electra carried herself from that overall, you see this, that seduction, the music, just the entrance and that. You kind of got a little vibes about you, man. The beauty, the elegance, how you carry yourself. Not just talking about from the physical aspect, man. I can say it right now. How you demeanor with the beauty. You got it. You got it.
Are you you're saying I have that?
You could do that, man. I can see that, just walking, just dashing like that. There's something, man. I got to show you the scene after we're done. But, yo, you can pull that off. You can pull that off.
Please show me the scene, because I would love to know. Oh, is that when she's wearing an orange dress?
Yes. Yeah.
I found, and then all the employees are looking at her, and she's coming in kind of slow motion.
Hell to the yes. Yes.
The worker rubs his eyes like he's in a dream all dramatically.
Yes, that is Kel Mitchell. Put some respect on the Good Burger name, man. Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. May I take your order? Yes. So it's one of those things with the iconic images, and then I could also put you in the class of Training Day, like Denzel Washington Alonzo, when he said the iconic line, "This shit's chess, it ain't checkers," because when it comes to the overall art form, you got to make your right move. It's like chess. It's very, it's the overall science and the mechanics going into the moves that you do. So there's a lot of elements that you incorporate in those situations there.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you.
See, I'm just saying, man, like I've seen what's big with yours is I always love the lift and carry ones just because it shows your overall strength. And I got to say this right now, built as a brick, what house, man. The strength is in I'm just saying, you have amazing core strength. And that's what I love about each and every one of your films.
Thank you. Do you watch them?
I do. And for me, I also look at it like this. Like when I see these films, I can see, okay, has great stories when you're just dominating. That's what I appreciate about you ladies. It has the power and the overall dominance and the empowerment of ladies, whether it be head scissors or whatever you encompass in that. And I just really enjoy the dominance because it's new, it's different, it's fresh. And it's a lot of people's preferences. And I think everybody needs a little uniqueness. Open up the mind, broaden the horizons, be introduced to it, I think it's very cool.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't know that my natural ability to lift people up and carry them around or slam them down would come in handy someday.
Hey man, there's something. I mean, people say there's something for everybody, and it's true because there's something that a lot of people can really get into that some people like, some people don't, and that's okay. But if you actually analyze, dissect, and decipher it, look at for the art that it is, you really have that overall appreciation for it. I also look at it like when Bob Ross used to be on The Joy of Painting, right? God rest his soul. The man had an afro. The man, for the start of the 30 minutes of the show, he would be like, okay, got a little speck right here, and by the end of the show, we got a mountain, we got a waterfall, and I'm not talking about TLC, but we're got waterfalls, we got mountains, we got the whole nine. The way that Bob Ross, how he intricates and how he puts that brush to the canvas is kind of like what you do with with the overall session wrestling thing. Whether you work on an arm, whether you work on a joint, whether you work on a leg, or how you overall tell the story, I think it really encompasses that overall art form. And kind of like the joy that you would see Bob Ross when he would paint those damn things. Masterpieces at the end of a 30-minute show, people. So yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's absolutely what it's about. And if in the pro wrestling world, they don't tend to have shows. It's more of like, here's a beautiful little painting here. It's like Bob Ross is putting the birds on different little squares outside of the main canvas, and then you just kind of can hang them on your wall as you see fit. But I mean, the wall and the display looks nice overall, but they're not all together and cohesive. Jennifer's show wants it to be like a whole painting, and everyone's going to add to that as far as each match or performance. And there are performers. There's a fire dancer, I know. There's a burlesque dancer as like opening acts and stuff of that nature. But that's what's going to be, I think, unique about Jennifer and the way that she's going to plans to do things, and she will.
Of course, and I think what we have going on here, and I mean, you're going to be a part of the event. I've seen Genevieve Hex is going to be there, Savannah Fox. I mean, we've seen a lot of great names that are going to be there, and I mean, I look at someone like Genevieve Hex, who's an absolute beauty. She's very peaceful, but she works and goes always on the grind. We got Savannah Fox. We got, you know what it is, too? I really look forward to seeing everybody encompassed there. Brawlin Barnes, you know what I'm saying? We have a lot of great women of all different shapes and sizes and just beauty that exudes through each and every one of you. I think it's going to make for a hell of an event come this Saturday. I know you're going to be a part, so how do you feel, man? Like, I mean, for you, you're really one of the ones that encompasses the art form. You're just one of many, but for you get to be a part of something special as always, man. So I look forward to seeing your part in the Session Girls event, Miss Des Desire.
Thank you. Well, I feel excited about it. I'm really proud of Jen. I wanted to be involved with it because I know that she has a treasure. She's been sitting on a treasure with these girls and the abilities and the skill sets that they have. And we just need to, what's the word I'm looking for? Display them, showcase them. That's the word, showcase.
All right.
Yeah. And so I'm excited to be part of it. Unfortunately, my condition, I'm still on blood thinners, so I just couldn't take the matches that I was hoping that I could for this. The more competitive ones, basically, just because it's a risk with my condition for another couple weeks. But I still have a couple of performances, so we'll see.
I think with that, well, first and foremost, I'm going to say this: health comes first. I hope to see you keep staying on your path with that. And I hope you get better very soon, which I know you are because you're a fighter and that's what you do. So I'm going to say good health and well wishes on that front.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. And then we also look at it like this. It doesn't matter how long you're going to make your mark. That's the thing. I think a lot of people got to realize, it doesn't matter the minuscule seconds, the minuscule time that you're on it. If you have a memorable performance, no matter how long, and you're that part of the show, man, you're going to do it to the best of your ability. So I'm looking forward to it nonetheless, So, yeah, do you think?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And also, besides the fact that next time, I got to say, when I come into for future sessions, just to be a part and just have a lot of fun with it, Jen has promised to put a scissor hold on my neck. And I'm not going to lie, that's intimidating because I said to her, like, look, I'm kind of curious about this. So I'm like, all right. And, so I'll see how it feels. I mean, poor Raul, and I love Raul Ramirez to death. Catch Wrestling Alliance. That's another guy, because I've seen Raul in those Sizzlocks. It's no joke, people. You got to watch these videos. It's one of the things I appreciate about that, because you got Raul Ramirez, who has worked a lot with Jen and a lot of, like, Tomiko the Temptress Gym as well. It's one of those things where I look at it like, look at Raul, Catch Wrestling Alliance. That's a perfect example right there. Because if you want to add a lot more to your game, you look at something like Catch Wrestling that's been around since the late 1800s, early 1900s. I'm talking about wrestlers like Lou Thez, George Hackenschmidt, and the likes of Pat O'Connor. So you get to really notice the traditional style of wrestling there, and that's something I can appreciate with the likes of Raul being involved and just taking the stuff with Jen.
Oh, yeah. He knows a lot, and I wish that the girls would utilize him and I wish that he could put on a little seminar for a couple hours. That would be awesome if we could have a seminar before the show.
See? Putting ideas in people's heads, man.
So stuff like that, and it's just going to grow. And the big point, and Jen, I know, feels this way too. The big point of all of this is it's helping us as individual human beings, as women, who we are, to grow. Like some of these girls never had done anything like it before, and now they realize that they could wrestle, they could fight. They're already more confident, just in general. I had to use some muscle against a guy who was trying to take advantage with money, and I'm like, wow, I would probably not feel comfortable to do that if I didn't have his experience and his training. So I am thankful for it.
All right, now there's a song that is out there about that type of situation that you just put in front of me there with talk about trouble with money. You're kind of like that song. It's a rap song. I'll send it to you afterwards. It goes, have you got my money? Tell me where's my money? Better have my money. I'm going to say this right now. If I saw you at gunpoint, like, yo, the money's coming out. It's all, Puff Daddy had the classic song, It's All About the Benjamin's Baby. That's very apropos in a situation like that with you, Miss Desire.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And another thing I got to mention too is that also the name is perfect. I have to mention this to you because as a young man, I was 12 years old. I remember watching Total Nonstop Action Wrestling when they had the Wednesday pay-per-views. There was a female on there, one of the original knockouts, if you will, for the promotion, and her name was Desire. And the overall tagline behind her characters, she's every man's desire. So I also think that can encompass yourself and really just showcases you with your overall personality. So hey, it's a win-win all in all from a marketing standpoint that we were talking about.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. You are very welcome. And another thing I got to mention is another name I have to mention about you is Goddess, because we've seen so many people in Sessions Wrestling from Goddess Nadia. You have that great chemistry with Sydney Thunder, which is off the chain. I've had the pleasure of having Sydney on the show. She's another one that's gorgeous, beautiful, muscular, and really encompasses a lot in her work as well. And you two have great chemistry.
So what do you mean about great chemistry? You saw us?
I have. I've seen a lot of stuff that's on the social media front, and I've seen you two doing a lot of great clips as well together. And I think what's awesome about that is, too, because we got people like yourself and Sydney that really showcase their work, whether it be together or whether it be separate. And I kind of compare you two like a very similar because you're both very dominant, and it showcases in your work, and I can appreciate both of your hard works that go into it.
Oh, thank you. I was hoping, or maybe I could just hope that you would see the video that she put out fairly recently. I only noticed it on Twitter. She put out a video fairly recently of her and I, where I have her in a compromising position, and I use a different bit of ammunition than I've ever used.
Hold on. I don't mean to laugh, but yes, I was about to get to that. Because that's the thing about social media, those clips. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen it. People, you got to see this, because I'll be honest, that came across my feed on Twitter. I'm scrolling through the Twitter machine, and then your lovely face comes upon my news feed, and again, it's very unique, and a lot of people got to see it because it was really, really good, and I was entertained. I really, truly was.
She asked for it. That's all I know.
That she did. People.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. We can't spoil everything here, man. I mean, this is why we have these social medias. We'll plug the Twitter at the end, but people go onto the Twitter and watch this. It's absolutely amazing. I don't mean to laugh, but it was good. It was good. Emphasis on the good. My goodness.
Yes.
But
it was great.
But yes, and that's why I say, and that's why I incorporate, this is when we were talking about your overall physique and the fitness aspect. She's another one that's just insane in the membrane, to put that phrase back out there. That's another one that just goes hard in the paint. That's why I appreciate the work that you both put in and the fact that she asked for it there, Miss Desire. So, I mean, I can appreciate stuff like that. And then I also see people like you and Sheena. Sheena's another one. My God, another lift and carry, another one that's just great, the overall elegance. She's another one that is great in the session wrestling community and just another one, such strength, such beauty, dare I say, such dominance, and it really shows with your work with her as well.
Thank you. Yeah, I liked that video with her. I wish that they could be at the event, her and her, as she says, sister, Amazon Warrior. I wish I could see them, but it's too bad I can't.
That's true. And I will say this about another goddess. See, we're bringing up goddesses and warriors here, people. Do you see the tie-ins and what we're putting here, the art forms and the lovely ladies that we have in the session wrestling world? My goodness, Warrior Amazon, another one. Here's another thing I also appreciate, the international flavor, if you will, because the international side of things that I've always encompassed this with wrestling, whether you see a talent from, the UK or what have you, whether from the States, I love the overall tie-ins there because we get to incorporate maneuvers, and there's also different styles and there's different cultures that are involved, and it makes for great travel, it makes for great continuity, and dare I say, decorum, if you will. So it makes for a lot of wonderful times with them.
What was the last part? It makes for a... Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, I'm sorry I didn't catch the last part.
I'll repeat it.
What?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. To repeat what I was saying. It also encompasses a lot of decorum and camaraderie there because there's friendships made. There's a lot of fun that really goes into it. And when you want to talk about fun, you talk about Warrior, Amazon, and Sheena, because those two, another one. Best friends, chemistry, beauties. I love it.
Yeah, they are awesome.
And
And that's the thing that I love is that I've gotten to meet women from around the world because of Jennifer. Well, I guess we could start from the beginning since we had it. Because of Jennifer, I got involved, and then because I got involved, I have been able to travel and meet so many other people, clients and girls alike that are just awesome. That there's no way I would have met them otherwise. And it's just this whole underground niche of really passionate people. And I wish it wasn't so underground because it's not like a weird thing. I mean, I don't think so, but it ranges. It's got a broad spectrum, we'll say. So it ranges from one end to the other. But let's just say it's a really cool thing, and I wish more people knew about it. I wish more people knew about all of it.
Oh, agreed wholeheartedly. And, I think it's people like myself and many people that, follow what you ladies do that, bring it out into the forefront, if you will, because I think it's great for some people that are new to it. And that's why I love what I do with podcasting. Here's how the tie-ins with interviews go. Because you have a lot of people like yourself that people may not be familiar with. And just if they're not, what the hell is wrong with you? But I digress. In all seriousness here, we have a lot of great people that need their stories to be told. And that's the great thing about what I do and what many people should do when you see and do your research on a lot of great people like yourself. And then there's the other thing about it here. And I've told you this because I have to say this because you got to meet great people around the world, like you mentioned, and Jen. I've said this about you. Like, when people look at you, and I mean this with the utmost sincerity and respect, it's kind of like, damn, and it's a good damn. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, look at this woman right here with the overall stature and what you have. It's very intimidating, but when people get to know you, there's a whole lot of sweetness that encompasses your being. So, I mean, hey, you attract people's eye, is what I'm saying, to put it bluntly on that.
Yeah, thank you. Today they definitely looked at me like that because I in my heels when I went to meet Jen and the girls to have a little meeting. I was 6'4". Jennifer said she thought I was wearing silk.
Hold on, I don't mean to laugh again. Y'all with the heels, man. I'm going to say this because I've seen some of your work there. You and your heels, Jen and her heels. It's the heel gang. That's what it is. It's the heel brand is what it is. High heels, stilettos, girls in the stilettos. That's what Nick Cannon was talking about when he was talking about your pops don't like me, girls in stilettos. Hello. But no, it's true because I'm just saying. I mean, that really encompasses. You also over encompasses the look. Nothing wrong with that, man. You got it. And if you got it, flaunt it, as the old saying goes,
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Please. And I got to say this as well, because another thing that's been on social media, you and the lovely Miss Lana Luxor. Oh, I've been seeing a lot of posts. Yes, we got to talk about that.
Did you talk to Lana?
I've had Lana on the show, but I have not had the chance to talk about this with Lana yet, which I hope to be in the future. But another thing I got to mention is I've been seeing on social media, you and Lana, the customs, the whole nine. I am looking forward to that. That really perked my interest.
Yeah, we're going to do a couple, at least 2 matches. And I'm not sure if it's going to be the live part of it, though. It might just be for the customer client. Well, the customer client, the video client, the custom client. So maybe we'll have to do a little special.
Now, you see, here's another thing, and I got to mention this with the utmost respect to Lana as well. Another one who's just so strong, and really, here's the thing, and I also have not mentioned this word yet because it's so apropos that I put this out there. Like, when it comes to people like yourself, when it comes to people like Lana Luxor, Jennifer Thomas, the one thing I have to say is professionalism. And that's why I always say this, because when you talk about the clientele and the customs clientele, if you will, to reiterate your own words there, it's one of those things where, like, you got that professionalism about you, and it just makes for a fun experience for those that want to seek a session or what have you. And I think it really makes for a fun time, all in all.
Thank you. I don't know how to be. I think it's because it's such an odd job. I'm not sure if we were ever told what's professional and what's not, because a lot of people wouldn't think that what we do could be a profession at all anyway. But yeah, I think it's like Jennifer has class, and that class just carries over to everything, and so that comes off as very professional. That's quite the compliment if you say that about me, so thank you so much. And I have yet to meet Lana, so I've heard really great things about her.
Sweetheart of a human being. And I say that to anybody that wants to session with Lana. Such a sweetheart, such a lovely human being.
Cool.
So I will say this about you, though. Also, there's the other part about you that we haven't discussed yet, man. You like to bash some skulls. I've seen you, man, with your punches, your kicks, your strikes. You like to bash some skulls. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not to the point of like Scary Movie where the friggin' the Scream guy was rapping about smash, bash, put a hole in your ass. We're not to that part yet, but you do like to. You love your strikes. You love your kicks. You like your joint manipulation. There's a part of you that you like to bash some skulls, but with a smile on your face. I can respect that because sometimes you got to go, dare I say, hard in the paint. It's not just a basketball term for going in the hole. You know what I'm saying? Basketball, favorite sport, Curtis Blow. It's one of those things where you can go hard in the paint, and it shows within each and every one of your work. And that's what you can expect coming September 5th, live, Sessions Wrestling, going to be streamed. It's going to be a great event featuring the likes of Miss Des Desire. Des, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. We got a lot of stuff coming with you, Lana Luxor. It is a great time in the world of session wrestling. And now this is where I step back. Please promote the Twitter, the Facebook, Instagram, wherever people can find you on all forms of social media. The floor is yours. Please go right ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, I would love for you guys to follow me and look at my videos that we make custom wrestling clips of all types of interests and fetishes, all shapes and sizes. That's going to be at DesDesire.com. My name is Des, D-E-Z. Desire is my second name. DesDesire.com, spelled D-E-S-I-R-E. I almost forgot what it was. D-E-Z-D-E-S-I-R-E. Des Desire. And, it would be awesome if you subscribe there because it's free, and then you get to see updates to my blog and the videos as well. Also, on my Instagram, I'm changing. It used to be Des Session Wrestler, but now it's going to be Des the Wrestler. And my Instagram is Des the Wrestler. I figured it'd be smart to keep them the same. And that's the only two social medias I have. And they keep me busy.
That they do. So check her out on the Instagram. Check her out on DesDesire.com. You get a lot of great material. And I'm going to say this about you, because you mentioned there are different shapes and sizes of different fetishes. People, we are all unique. There's, like I said, there's a lot of things for everyone. There's something for everybody. And if you're not checking out Session Wrestling, what are you doing? Because we got people like yourself. We got people like Jennifer Thomas. We got a whole lot of people doing a lot of great things and applying their craft the only way that they can. So, Miss Des Desire, before we even close this out, do you have any final words for the people that have been supporting you since day one, doing what you do in the session wrestling community, and just a final message for your fans?
Final message for my fans is thank you, everybody, for all your support and ordering videos and just supporting this interesting, awesome, wonderful, wild world, underground world. We love doing what we do. And I just hope to see you guys Saturday. If you can't be here in Vegas, because a lot of people cannot make it, then just tune in. Absolutely tune in. You just go to, it stands for Women on Fire, WAOnFire.com, and you'll be able to see the event live, the live stream, and there's a lot of beautiful athletic women there. It's going to have a variety of women and of talent. And, yeah. You can go to Jennifer Thomas's social media, and it should be on there too. But Women on Fire, WAOnFire.com.
Links to that will be in the description, as well as your social medias and Jennifer Thomas's social medias, so everybody can check out the Session Girls event live this Saturday, September 5th. I'm going to say this right now because you mentioned it. Unlike Fight Club, because you were talking about the underground, unlike Fight Club, we could talk about this. That's the only difference. We could talk about this. Yes.
That is true. Do talk about it. The more you talk about it, the better.
Beautifully said. And for Des Desire, my name is Mike Larkin. Thank you guys for listening to another edition of On the Mic with Mike. You can check this out, StephenMikeShow.com, SoundCloud.com/MC Larkin92, and you can check it out on WrestlingWithWrestling.com. Myself and Andre Corbeil all day, every day is going down. So Des Desire, it's been a pleasure. It's been a privilege. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.